If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What they discovered upon their arrival was almost unspeakable.
We are all evil in some form or another. I'm not guilty.
The dead won't bother you. It's the living you gotta worry about.
If I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep their skeletons.
Hello and welcome to the Bad Taste Crime Podcast. I'm Vicky.
I'm Rachel.
We are back again.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hello. We just had some, before we started, some like kitten cuddle time.
Oh my God. I feel so like relaxed.
Yeah. With Tiff. Tiff got a new cat named Pickle. And he's like a little baby kitten. He's so sweet.
He climbed right up on my shoulder like a parrot. I was just like, oh my God.
So we took 10 minutes before the show to like get a little kitten cuddle.
Yeah, get in the vibe.
Yeah, get our mood up, you know.
She has a new kitten and a new puppy.
Yes.
So we've just been like getting like animal cuddles all morning.
So cute.
So sweet.
So cute. So let's talk about murder then.
Yeah. Let's go from really cute to really bad.
This is how we balance out like talking about true crime and then immediately going downstairs and like cuddling with a puppy and a kitten.
And that's what you should do too. Take care of your mental health.
Yes, literally.
By petting animals.
Yeah. This is your first time listening. A special hello to you.
Welcome.
We've got a very fun show today.
Yes.
But first, let's head over to the newsroom.
Let's go there.
Unfit to breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad.
This week, our news comes from Bangor, Maine, where a guy thought some drugs were in a chimney.
Oh, no. That's a strange place to put drugs.
Yeah. So you would think, I
guess it's like out of
like
the
a
way.
drop-off point or something.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a 39-year-old man named Stephen Nason who in the very early hours of the morning, it was like 4 a.m., climbed on the roof of somebody's house, like a random person's house.
Okay.
The people inside, the residents inside, heard something happening. So they went outside and
is that Santa Claus?
They
Who's
see
up
this.
there?
Yeah, they see this guy on the roof. They're like, what the fuck? Please get down. They go to the back. They see that there's like a ladder that he used to climb onto the roof.
Okay.
They don't know who this person is. They've never seen him before.
Sir.
They're yelling at him to get off the roof. He's like, I'm trying to get the drugs that are in this chimney.
Oh. Pause, sir.
Yeah. So they called police.
Nice.
Which came and let me see. It says the fire department put a basket up near the roof. He jumped to get the basket and there was an axe attached to it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Like the basket of the fire truck. Like to, but there's an axe attached to the
in
basket.
case they need to like chop open stuff.
Right. So he jumped from the roof into the basket, grabs the axe, jumps from the basket back to the roof.
Athletic.
And then he started chopping holes in the roof.
I'm kind of impressed.
I know. And they were obviously trying to assume that maybe this is somebody in like a mental health crisis or whatever to retrieve them safely, not assuming, they didn't want to turn it into like a whole big.
No, they're like, oh my God, this guy needs help. He's stuck on a roof. And he's like, no, I'm on a mission.
Yeah.
Give me that hatchet.
Yeah. So it says they finally got him down. He was taken into custody about 11:30. He surrendered, sounds like.
Okay.
He was sent to the hospital for a physical and mental health eval. He has been charged with aggravated criminal mischief, creating a police standoff, and violating probation.
Okay.
and has not appeared in court yet. So
wow.
Yeah, so he's only been charged. But he is in jail.
That's crazy.
But imagine, I get so freaked out by like the little unexpected noises.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Certain noises in your house that you're like expecting.
Yes.
Even late at night.
Yeah, it's like the house settling, little creaks, but sometimes it's like, oh, I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
That is
like,
someone
the fuck
coming
is that?
to kill, like Wendy Williams, the killer. That's the killer.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
I love her so much.
So it's like, and I get that a lot too, because where I live, it's above some businesses. It's like a businessy area with like apartments above it. So there are times late at night where there's like random people walking through the parking lot,
that would
or like,
freak me
you know what I mean?
out.
And especially when it's nicer out and I have my windows open, there's a bowling alley that's like 2 storefronts down from us. So at like 2:00 in the morning, people will be drunk and yelling and whatever else, right? But sometimes that shit scares me because it sounds like they're
get a
fighting.
crossbow.
It's crazy. I actually kind of want to get an air horn to just be like,
Should.
when any of that shit is happening, because it.
Or like
be really
you're so
loud.
high up, you could get like a super soaker and just like squirt.
It's not. They're not that
people?
close. They're. It's
Get
like
a really far super soaker.
I can't even see them. I just know that it's there. I just can't
you
even
can
see the
hear it?
people. Yeah. And it'll wake me up, and then I get really mad. It's a
Spooky.
whole thing. Yeah. I guess I could just sleep with my windows closed. But what?
What's the fun in that?
Yeah. Exactly.
Why have windows if you're not? I mean, you're German. Don't they do that? They like air out the house. That's
That
like
is
the
a
whole
thing. Yes.
There's a name for it. I just can't remember.
I don't know. But I know what you're talking about, where they
Yeah.
like let all the fresh air
It's
in.
in your blood.
It is.
Your
It's
German
true.
blood.
It's true. Did you hear there's a whole thing going on in Europe now with like AC units, air conditioning units and stuff? And like obviously they're in the middle of a heat wave and people are like, we kind of want to start getting AC units because they don't really have them. But there's politicians coming out being like, please don't do that. You're going to put so much stress on the electrical grid and blah, 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 blah.
Whatever.
It is a very interesting conversation.
People deserve to
'cause-
be cool.
Yeah. And
Have an
they've
AC
never, I mean, they're just not used to heat like that. We are used to the extremes.
Right.
Like really fucking hot in the summer, really cold in the winter.
Yeah. I feel like it's so like balmy in most of Europe. You know?
Yeah, they don't need them. They
No.
really don't need them. So anyway,
That's
this is a
crazy.
total
I did
aside,
hear about
but
that. I did hear about that because
it's
I
such an
follow a
interesting
lot of like
conversation that's
travel
happening over there.
blogs, and they're like the worst part about Europe is they don't have AC and they don't drink water.
yeah,
Nowhere serves water.
that's wild.
Crazy. I'm
that's
like, how
wild.
are you not all dehydrated?
I don't get it. I don't know. The tea? They drink enough tea?
Oh my god.
There's water in
Whatever.
tea?
Tea's a diuretic.
Yeah, but there's water
It makes
in
you
it.
thirsty. No,
There's-
it makes you thirstier.
Yeah, but there's water in it.
It makes
is
you
what I'm
pee.
saying.
You pee it all out so it doesn't absorb.
But
and
so
flow
is
into your
coffee,
body.
and we drink a fuckload of coffee here.
Well,
so
right, but I also drink water.
yeah,
I have water right
Whatever.
now. Welcome to the ASMR podcast.
Oh God, no. All right, we're gonna move on to Netflix and Kill, which this week is an HBO and
Ooh.
Kill, and
Back
we
to HBO Max.
Yes, and we are talking about The Mortician.
Oh,
Very good, super new. It came out beginning of June. It's only 3 episodes.
Nice.
And it focuses on the Lamb Funeral Home in California, I believe. And specifically, this guy named David Sconce, who essentially sought to maximize the profits of the organization by some very not legal, not proper or moral means.
Yeah, doing some fraud.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because he is in prison and being released for something else. Like he goes on to do just frauds.
Oh, great.
Fraud things
Love
like
it.
check fraud and some other
Everyone
random
has
shit.
to have a business plan.
Yeah, right. So they pick him up as he's being released from jail for this, and they interview him for the entire documentary about this whole thing. So he basically was the son of Lamb Funeral Home, was owned by, let me see. Well, it was
His dad.
Sconce's dad, like
Right.
that family.
Mr. Sconce.
Like a long time.
Sconce Senior.
Very,
Yeah, they tend
something
to
like
run
that.
in the family
And
funeral homes.
they were like very well known in the area. They're like
Yeah.
the place to go.
If you die, you go there.
Yeah, right.
Place to be.
He was not as interested in like the funeral aspect of it, but he did get very involved in the mortician aspect of it. So things
Okay.
like embalming bodies, cremating bodies,
Gross.
things like that. He starts basically running they end up buying this crematorium that is on the property of their cemetery, like where the funeral home is at, which is uncommon. A lot of people had to like go to a third party.
Right.
They had to outsource. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. They had to like outsource their cremations to a third party, which was expensive, like
so this
hundreds
is very
of dollars.
Convenient that it's so nearby.
And he was doing it for like a quarter of the cost of any other place. So not only were they doing it for their funeral home, they were doing it for funeral homes in the area because it was so cheap.
How nice and innocent.
Turns out he was putting like 10, 15 bodies into the ovens at one time.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Because they're talking about, okay, when you cremate a single body, it can take, they say, about 2 to 4 hours. It's like 2 hours to cremate, another 2 hours for things to cool down and all the ash to settle and whatever else. And then you do another one. So you can only get, maybe 4 to 8 done in a day, depending on how many ovens you have and things.
Right.
But it's a little causes delays, right? Especially when you're increasing volume and trying to build your business.
Okay, well, just get more ovens.
Yeah. So he decided that was the way to go.
That's awful.
He was like taking gold fillings out and keeping them. There was some organ harvesting and trade happening. Eventually the crematorium burns down.
Karma.
He said it was because one of the guys who was like smoking weed just like dropped a joint in there.
Blame the stoner.
Well, then they're like, well, we still have all these bodies to cremate. So they sort of, it sounded like brokered a deal with a local, it was a kiln for like pottery. It was like a local kiln place.
No.
They get caught. See, there's like this whole, people kind of knew what was happening. There's some other shady shit with like potentially
under the table,
trying to murder his business rivals.
Jesus.
There's some things like that. And so people kind of knew this arrangement, but because a lot of these things that he was doing were not felony crimes.
Right.
Although they were not approved by like the Mortician Society or Funerary Society. They're not like felonies.
Okay.
So it's hard to go after him for those.
God.
They get picked up by a guy who works for like the federal government testing air quality. Because out of this kiln.
The air is all corpsey.
Yes.
Ew.
He gets called in because residents were complaining and he realizes it's like all at this kiln. And they roll up with like partially burned bodies, partially cremated bodies.
I'm just picturing like little feet sticking out.
That's and like
awful.
Multiple... And they're like breaking limbs and stuff to like get these to fit. I know, it's horrible.
Oh, that's awful.
So anyway, he finally goes down for that. He ends up getting 5 years for mutilating corpses, holding mass cremations, and hiring hitmen for rival morticians.
Jesus.
He then he does his time. He gets out. He's like, hold on. Let me because he ends up pleading guilty to some, and then he gets these charges. He gets out. There's like lawsuits. He does end up going to jail for like I said, it was like check fraud or something. Okay. Anyway.
Wow. What a peach.
And the guy is fucking weird.
Yeah, I
He's
can imagine.
so weird.
Ew.
It's like the equivalent of not quite as weird, but it is like the equivalent of interviewing Robert Durst.
Okay.
A little, where
like
he's just like very matter-of-factly talking about the things.
Yes.
He's very much like, I personally do not believe that when somebody dies that there's anything left of that person in the body. It's just a body.
Okay, but that's your belief.
Right.
Not the belief of the family.
He's like, so I don't understand why all these people are up in arms because that's not their loved one anymore.
Because you're supposed to give them their ashes.
Yeah.
And now they have Tom, Dick, and Harry in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a video of somebody who was like a victim of that, where they had the ashes tested and it was like different people.
Yes.
It like wasn't their mom.
And this, like the funerary and mortuary crime has been on the rise.
I've noticed that.
In the last probably, I would say 10 to 15 years, you're hearing more and more about it. And I think a lot of that is because people have become savvy and like understand what is supposed to happen and when things are a little off. Mm-hmm. But there's also been this sort of increase in black market organ trading and harvesting or donations of bodies for various things.
Right.
Ew. Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. It's a very interesting documentary though. Like I said, it's only 3 episodes. It's on HBO Max. It's called The Mortician. Definitely check it out. It's worth a watch because the guy is just kind of fucking weird.
It sounds like a character.
Yeah, because there's a point at the very end where he's like, well, I could tell you about these 3. And the guy, the documentarian is like, well, if you're about to tell me something that is like, you know, maybe something I can't unhear, you know, like if it's illegal, because obviously then they have to report it.
Yeah.
He's like, if you're about to tell me something like that, like, just don't say anything. And he's like, yeah, I probably, you know what I mean? Like, it's very fucking weird, but a really good documentary.
That's kind of a lame documentarian. I'd be like, if you're going to do that, speak directly into this microphone.
I get it. Because it's like, the second you tell me something.
Right. No, I understand, but you know.
I don't want to be a party to this. I don't want to, you know, like.
Yeah, don't confess that to me. I'll report on it afterwards, but like, don't tell me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I do get that.
Yeah. So this is that part of the show where we say content may not be appropriate for all listeners. This week, it's honestly more on the tame side, I would say.
Mine is too.
But we are talking about explosions, explosives, people using explosives.
Love it.
In the pursuance of crime.
This is a very explosive episode.
And it's interesting to me because
we're going to blow you away.
There's like a lot of random. It's not like there is a standard thing that happens. I mean, I guess when you're talking about things like terrorism or domestic terrorism, a lot of times there's explosives involved there.
Right.
Obviously acts of wartime and things like that. But just like regular old crime.
Yeah, you don't always see.
And when you do, it's like a random occurrence.
Super
like what's happening here?
Totally.
And obviously we have had some major bombings here, right? Like the Olympic Park bombing. Right. Fucking what's his face? The Unabomber. Yeah. Like we've had a lot of these things in the US.
Yes.
From random people. A lot of them use like the Anarchist Cookbook. Now you can just use Google.
Yeah, just
like
look it up.
I'm not saying search. I am not. Let me be clear. I am not saying search Google how to make a bomb.
Please,
because you will 1,000% be put on some kind of list.
Yeah,
so
they watch that shit.
There's that.
Don't do that.
But yeah, I wanted to look at some of these cases.
That's such a cool topic.
They tend to be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, not to stereotype, but I feel like you got to be kind of an interesting person to know how to build a bomb.
Yeah, it's so technical.
It is. And you gotta have a lot of free time.
True.
And
space.
Access to materials.
Yes.
However that may be.
Right.
I'll also say that mine is a little bit shorter this week.
Mine's shorter too.
But I wanted to talk about the Harvey Resort Hotel bombing.
Okay.
This is wild.
Ooh.
Very wild.
Tell me about it.
So the event begins with a man named John Burgess Sr., who actually immigrated to the U.S. from Hungary.
Okay.
He claims that he flew for the Luftwaffe in World War II.
Okay.
But while he was doing that, he was actually feeding intelligence to the United States.
Ooh, sneaky.
So he was a little double cross action. This is, again, according to him. I don't know that they have records of this or anything, but...
Right.
He was eventually caught and captured and sent to a Soviet gulag for 25 years.
Not good.
Not great. But 8 years in, he was released during a repatriation. Okay. There was like a mass repatriation of people from World War II.
Got it.
So he gets released. He gets sent back to Hungary. And then from there, he decides to head to the United States for good.
Cool.
Which if he was, I mean, kind of makes sense. If he was feeding intelligence to the U.S.
He's like, they probably love me there.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably have a better time in Europe saying, I helped you guys out than being like, I helped you guys out while fighting for the Nazis. Like, while also being a Nazi.
Right.
And let's be real, the U.S. was like, give us all your Nazis after World War II. So like...
Them in South America.
Oh, God. Yeah. Anyway. So... he comes over to the U.S. Burgess was eager to establish himself and started what became, honestly, a pretty successul landscaping business.
Oh.
He might have also had interest in real estate. Like, for some reason, I'm remembering, like...
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Maybe had some, like, hotels or some restaurant. I think he might have been a restaurateur type of thing.
So he's going into business for himself.
Well, he's trying to, but... he also had a very successful gambling problem.
Oh, dear.
That resulted in him being very successful at losing large sums of money.
I was going to say, like, is it successful?
I mean, what is your definition of success here? If you're trying to lose large sums of money, then yes, extremely successful.
He did that shit.
He really did. Go off, King. Lose that money. So you have this money problem, right?
Yeah.
How do you think somebody would go about solving this?
But probably by using a lot of explosives to blow the side off of a bank and then just take all the money out.
Yeah, right.
Like that.
Yeah, just go to the source of the money.
That's where they get the money.
Actually, he decided extortion was the way to go.
That's a cute
as aided
option.
by bomb building.
Oh, okay,
of
cool,
course.
cool,
Yes,
cool,
yes,
cool.
yes.
Can't forget that.
Of course. So the plan was to build a bomb.
Okay.
And leave it at Harvey's Resort Hotel and Casino in State Line, Nevada.
Sounds kind of fancy.
Where I get the impression it was because it was connected via a tunnel to Harrah's.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it sounds like it was right on the main strip.
Yeah.
Like, a full, again, resort and casino.
Right.
Like, it looked pretty nice.
Yeah. Before.
Before
it blew up.
Yes, before it blew up, definitely. So Burgess actually claimed to have lost about $750,000 gambling at Harvey's. This is approximately $2.84 million in today's money.
Phew.
Which is also crazy. It's crazy at the amount of, because this was in... did I even put a date of when this was?
I don't know.
80s.
Yeah.
It was in the early 80s, 80.
That's prime time gambling time.
80, 81. Yeah.
Do a little coke, play a little poker.
Well, just the amount of inflation between the 80s and today. Anyway.
It's crazy.
It is a little crazy. So I got a lot of my information directly from the FBI website.
Cool.
For reasons that will become clear later.
Nice.
So according to the FBI, on the morning of August 26, 1980, two men wearing white jumpsuits entered the casino and pretended that they were delivering an IBM copy machine.
Okay.
They literally roll in with this machine.
Gotta have confidence.
They take it up to the second floor of the casino where they leave it. The men exit the building, and then they leave in this white van that is marked with IBM on the side.
Okay. So seems legit.
They just leave it.
Cool.
A note is left with the bomb that contained instructions and demands. Now, I could read this whole thing. It's pretty long, though. So I pulled some excerpts.
Yeah, summarize.
Because it's a lot of instructions.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty long note. And it will be, if you want to read it in full, the link is available in the show notes.
That's pretty cool. You can still read it in full.
Yeah. The FBI's got it posted on their fucking website. They're like, here's the ransom note.
Here it is.
It's crazy. Okay. So this reads in part, quote, "Do not move or tilt this bomb because the mechanism controlling the detonators in it will set off at a movement of less than 0.01 of the open-end Richter scale.
Wow.
Don't try to flood or gas the bomb. There is a float switch and an atmospheric pressure switch set at 26 to 33. Both are attached to detonators. Do not try to take it apart. The flathead screws are also attached to triggers, and as much as a quarter to 3/4 of a turn will cause an explosion."
Sadly puts away Philip's screwdriver.
Yeah, right. In other words, this bomb is so sensitive that the slightest movement, either inside or outside, will cause it to explode.
Wow.
The letter goes on to claim that there was enough TNT to severely damage the Harrah's across the street, the one that was connected via tunnel. followed by a demand for $3 million in used $100 bills. Obviously, they're like, used $100 bills, unmarked, untraceable, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
In exchange for instructions on how to move the bomb to another area to be detonated safely.
Wow.
Because he, in this note, he's like, even I can't like just show up and hit a switch to like deactivate things. Like you can't deactivate it, but I'll give you instructions on how to move it safely so it can be detonated elsewhere.
I hate to say it. This is a pretty good plan so far. This is pretty well thought out.
I mean, it really is. And the amount of detail that he goes into.
The logo on the side of the truck.
Yeah.
And the thing really looking like a fucking printer.
Yes.
That's cool. Like, fuck this guy, but like, that's interesting.
He goes on to say that he lays out instructions for the exchange of the money.
Okay.
He asked for the money to be moved by helicopter and provided instructions on how all of that would work. So he's basically like, one person in a helicopter with the money.
Okay.
Once he's in the air, like tune the radio to whatever station. Instructions will follow on the next steps to deliver the money.
Very
type of
well
thing.
Thought out.
Like, yeah. And he also makes a point to point out that he would not personally be involved in any of the like exchanges. So they shouldn't try to apprehend anyone because these are all third parties. He's like, these people only... Like each person involved only knows their part of the plan. Nobody knows the entire thing. It's not worth it to apprehend any of these people because none of them are me. Isn't that crazy? It's like a lot of working parts.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts.
Oh my God. See, he could have just not done a life of crime and he could have been such a good like stage manager.
I mean, yes. That's not where I thought you were going with that, but he would have been really good at something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
he has all these skills.
He seems like a very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame that he's blowing shit up about it.
We're trying to anyway.
Yeah. Attempting.
It also said, quote, and again, if you don't want to be stuck with 1,000 pounds of TNT, do not allow any investigation by local authorities, FBI, or any other investigative agency action before the bomb is removed.
Whoa.
Obviously, the FBI were immediately called in.
Yeah.
No, they immediately called the police.
They're like, anyway, we're already here.
Yeah. They immediately called the police and they start an investigation to determine what, if anything, could be done. Like, obviously, the most immediate threat is this fucking bomb in a hotel and resort that has current visitors.
Oh, my God.
Fully staffed.
What a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. So when they arrive...
Nobody used the printer.
They find... Well, and I could see why they would think it was, or why they thought it looked like a printer. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can pull up. Nope, not that one. I will try and pull up the pictures to show you.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I don't know. It's literally like a big printer-sized metal box with a smaller box on top.
Okay.
Also metal. I think this is the one that has the pictures.
I thought they just like, you want me to come over there?
No, I'll show you. I'll
come over there. God
no,
damn it.
Don't come over.
Do not come
Here
to my town.
Yeah, so it's like...
Oh, that doesn't look like a printer. That looks like a metal box.
But I mean, at the same time, maybe you have to take the metal off. Maybe it's inside.
Yeah.
As they're delivering
I was going to
it,
say, as someone who like doesn't work in like an office,
yeah,
I feel like I wouldn't really question it. Especially if they had like, what was it, IBM uniforms on or whatever.
Right. Well,
like,
no,
okay.
they just had white jumpsuits on. I don't think the jumpsuits had any like indication of who they were, where they were from. But they were just like, I mean,
I'm glad you showed me because I was definitely pictured they just like gutted a printer and put a little bomb inside.
No.
Wow.
So they see these steel boxes. When it had been dropped off, it was made exactly level and then armed using at least 8 triggering mechanisms.
Wow.
Initial investigations made the FBI believe it would take at least 4 people to move the device because as you moved it, you would have to keep it exactly even.
Right.
And there was no way to determine if they had successfully disarmed the bomb, even if they did attempt to disarm it.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, you would not be able to tell.
Great.
So almost immediately, the decision was made to evacuate the hotel of all guests and staff and shut off the gas main.
Good plan.
Yes. They also decided that they would, in fact, have to attempt to disarm it inside of the hotel.
Yeah. How are you going to get it, like, down the stairs and shit?
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah, the fact that it was on the second floor is like...
Yeah, what a bunch of dicks.
Cool.
Yeah,
Love that.
Awesome. The bomb people are like, wow.
Yeah. So they
I should
evacuated...
have called off.
Yeah. They evacuate everybody from the hotel. Bomb technicians were brought in to examine the device, and they used x-rays in an attempt to figure out how to safely detonate it. They also dusted for prints to see if they could glean anything from that, like where it came from, who it was. It would take 30 hours of just like they're just like examining, investigating, trying to figure out what to do. They put a plan together. Now, again, this is from the FBI. Despite the many warnings in the note, authorities believed, quote, if the two boxes could be severed using a shaped charge of C4 explosive, it might disconnect the detonator wiring from the dynamite.
Okay.
So that's their plan.
It could blow up. Okay. So you're going to not have the explosion by making a different explosion.
Smaller, more pointed explosion.
I love that.
Yes.
Explosions solve problems.
Sometimes, I mean, in a way,
every time.
They do solve every
100%
problem.
of
They
the
do
time.
solve every problem.
Right.
So just to be extra careful, the surrounding hotels were evacuated.
Good. Especially because he said it's enough that it could like damage other properties. Like,
but of course now people kind of know what's going on. So there's like crowds and shit forming. Yeah,
absolutely.
And there's a lot of pictures of like the explosion happening because it was a triggered explosion. So people kind of knew when it was going to come. So there were people ready with cameras
popcorn.
and video and
absolutely.
With
some weenies.
Yeah.
100%.
Pretty much, yeah. You know, like a regular demolition.
Yeah.
So, what they didn't know was that Burgess had placed dynamite in the top box as well. And when they detonated the C4 charge, it also detonated the top box, which set off the entire device.
God damn it.
And I mean, luckily, because it was remotely detonated, no one was injured.
Good.
But most of the hotel was destroyed.
Well,
there was also damage to the neighboring Harrah's casino with most of it was broken windows just from like the blast impact. And in total, the damage cost about $18 million, which is approximately $68.1 million now.
Jeez.
Yeah. I should also have a picture of the explosion here because it was like, was that it?
Kaboom.
Oh, this is, I think, a video of the explosion.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at
show
this.
me that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oops.
Whoa. The people cheering.
People are cheering like it's a planned demolition.
That's crazy.
But
wow,
when
it's a
you
big
see it-
building.
Yeah. It is a big building.
Yeah, I
Here's
see.
the first charge, and then...
It comes out the side, and then, oh, wow. That's a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's very 80s, the amount of people that are
danger zone
standing out there. But in total, like I said, it was about $18 million. Amazingly, Harvey's Casino partially reopened just 48 hours later.
Hello.
And the rest of the hotel was fixed and reopened fully in the next like 8 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They were like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would honestly be kind of funny. Like, I'm sure that would draw in a lot of crowds. Like, come into our very smoky,
newly renovated.
Dusty, very newly renovated. We're airing out the place a little
newly
bit.
Renovated. In fact, renovations are not fully complete. And it's crazy how, like, truly, like, how much damage was done because in some of the interviews, they talk about how when they went into the building afterwards, they would look up and could see, like, TVs, like, hanging and telephones, like, hanging off of the wires that were still connected to the, like, outlets in the walls in the rooms.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So it just, like, blew all the floors and walls off.
Yeah. I'm trying to find, there was one of these articles that had a bunch of pictures on the bottom, and it had a really good picture of the, like, side of the building post the explosion.
I'm still stuck on them opening for like bingo night, like right after.
I know,
I
literally.
hope they had like a bomb themed playlist. TNT Dynamite.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of more bomb songs. No, that's all I got.
That's it? That's all you got?
All the other ones are like much more recent. This place about to blow.
That's bad.
That's Kesha. How dare you?
I don't know. If I find it later, I'll show it to you. But it's like the entire side is blown out. It's crazy, dude.
Whoa.
Crazy. Anyway, so now that the immediate threat is dealt with, they started their investigation in earnest into like who actually put this bomb there.
Right.
There were some witnesses who came forward remembering the white van.
Okay.
They were like, yes, we saw this white van that said IBM on it.
It was IBM.
Yeah.
They
go
did
after them. Authorities were actually first drawn to Burgess as a potential suspect when information surfaced that a white van belonging to him was seen in South Tahoe at the time the bombing took place, which is only about 15 minutes from Harvey's. Like it's I looked at the map. It's pretty close to where Harvey's is at.
Got it.
Then a tip came in that would change everything. A man called the FBI, directly pointing the finger at Burgess. Apparently, which this is like one of those things that I'm just like, oh my
God.
Apparently, Burgess' son, one of his sons, he had two sons, had told a girl that he was dating at the time.
Oh my God.
That his dad was the one who planted the bomb.
Get out of here.
The two of them broke up. And she starts seeing other people, as you do. And while on a date with one of the guys that she was seeing, they hear about this reward that there was for information about the Harvey's bomb.
He's like, baby, I forgot my wallet. She's like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Well, she then tells this guy, oh, I think I know who did that. And this guy that she was seeing calls the FBI.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm like... This is why, I don't know. I don't want to say this is why you don't tell your partners things like this that maybe you want to keep secret.
Right.
Because if you break up, especially if you're just dating, if you're not like married or whatever, like.
They have no loyalty to you.
Literally.
No.
Literally. So, yeah. So he calls the FBI and is like, I know who did it. There was also something that happened 2 months earlier that the FBI believes is connected. So in June 1980, there was a dynamite blast in North Fresno that had destroyed the wooden truss of a nearby bridge.
Oh, wow.
Further investigation revealed that more dynamite had been hidden near the creek that was right there. And they think this might have been a test run for Harvey's.
Right. Because such an operation, I'm sure he would have done little tests. Yeah. I don't think that's too far-fetched at all.
And again, he seems intelligent enough and savvy enough to like put that
Let's
precaution
make sure
in
I know
place.
how to blow up dynamite first.
Yep.
Clever.
So John Burgess and both of his sons were arrested in relation to the bombing. The sons both entered guilty pleas in 1981, deciding instead to testify against their dad in exchange for receiving 0 prison time.
Wow.
Which, talk about no loyalty. They're
For
just
real.
like, absolutely send our father to prison as long as we don't have to go.
Maybe he was a shitty dad.
I mean, I don't know. He immigrated to the U.S.
Right.
To escape. Well, I don't know. He might not have been in a good position, and I don't know how people would have felt about him in Hungary,
right?
After having gone to the Gulag and come out and been, I don't know
if he got fathering
where they stood everywhere, where they stood on things after World War II. Like I actually don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what their relationship was.
They were like, maybe you should have gotten us that Xbox, Dad.
In the 80s?
Yeah. Atari.
Yeah. Atari is more like it. Yep. So they told authorities that they had helped their father steal the dynamite from a construction site and that it had taken from June to August to assemble. The FBI estimated that there was approximately 1,000 pounds of dynamite used in this bomb alone.
Wow.
The Harvey's bomb. They also said that they helped place the bomb in the van before it was taken to the casino.
Okay.
And that shortly after the detonation at Harvey's casino, Burgess stole an additional 600 pounds of dynamite and buried it, planning to use it later for a second bomb to be placed either at Harvey's again or at the main office of Bank of America in San Francisco.
What? Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. So they told him exactly where he had buried it. They went and dug it up and they're like, oh, yep, here's the 600 pounds of dynamite that you're telling us about. Yeah. Crazy.
Fuck that guy.
I know. So I assume largely thanks to that testimony and them being like, yes, we were there for all of it. Burgess was found guilty and sentenced to life without parole.
Uh-huh.
The other two accomplices, Terry Lee Hall and Hall's father-in-law, Willis Brown, were charged with conspiracy and interstate transport of explosives.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I believe these were the two in the white suits that dropped it off.
That makes sense.
At the hotel.
Okay.
In total, there's 6 people charged in this.
Jesus.
John Burgess was the mastermind, but there are 6 people charged in this whole thing.
Right.
So John Burgess was one, the 2 sons, the Terry Lee Hall and Willis Brown for the actual carrying it in.
Yep.
Both pled guilty in exchange for reduced sentences. The last person charged is a woman named Ella Joan Williams, who was arrested for being the one who typed up the ransom note.
Oh.
She actually did the typing of it.
You can get secretary experience elsewhere.
And I think if I remember correctly, she worked for the clerk's office or in government somewhere, something like that. Maybe for the correctional facility or something. She was in
Girl, that was dumb.
I know.
You're dumb.
So she was charged and convicted of attempted extortion, conspiracy, and interstate travel in aid of extortion.
Wow.
On appeal, her conviction was overturned, but when it went for retrial, Williams pled guilty to accessory in the extortion bombing and at that point was recommended for parole.
Okay.
She had spent this time in jail and all this other stuff. 16 years and a day after the bombing in 1996, Burgess died of liver cancer while still incarcerated.
Wow.
A mock-up of the bomb that the FBI found so fascinating, they still say that it is the most interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the bomb squad guys were like, whoa.
Yeah, they said it was one of the most unique and largest improvised explosive devices they've ever had to deal with.
What?
So they rebuild a mock-up of this, and it is still used for training by the laboratory at the FBI headquarters. Here's sort of this is the mock-up of what they use for training.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's little red lines and everything.
I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's
hell yeah.
I mean, you can see with the amount of just wires and shit.
Yeah.
That is in here. Here's a better look at it.
Whoa. Yeah, if someone were cut the red wire, you'd be fucked.
They're all red or black. What do you want me to do?
Help.
Actually, that's kind of clever because he did use mostly black wire.
He did. That looks crazy.
But yeah, it looks really and this is
huge.
You can see this is the floating mechanism, in a toilet almost.
Oh,
how it in the back of a toilet. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Crazy
to measure motion, maybe. Interesting.
That was if they tried to fill it with gas or air or water
then it would
or
float and trigger everything.
Yep,
got it.
Yeah. So that is the Harvey's casino bombing.
That's crazy. That was a good one.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks.
I love this topic.
So I always feel anytime it has to do with an explosion and just your average true crime, there's always some interesting something going on there.
I feel like people like explosions.
I mean, clearly everybody surrounding Harvey's casino and then cheering when the bomb went off.
Right.
Woo! demolition.
And like that's always fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to like
I mean,
watch
I'd
stuff
be
come
into
down.
it.
As
I'd
long
be
as
into
nobody
it.
gets hurt.
Right.
In mine,
Exactly.
one person
Damn.
does die.
Well.
So it's less
Rude.
fun. Right.
It's not that kind of episode today,
That was
Rachel. No, I'm
very
kidding.
fucking rude. So I'm going all the way down to Melbourne, Australia
Okay.
for mine.
Okay.
Because this is the Russell Street bombing. Mine's also in the 80s.
Okay.
Because we just do things the same.
Yeah, there
all
was.
the
I
time.
think there was more of this type of thing then because
Yeah.
the materials were easier to get.
Oh, that makes sense. Maybe they
Yeah.
weren't like as aware of like, hey, if you're buying all these things together.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
and
you're
that
making a
kind of
bomb.
stuff is not. It's much more regulated
Very
now on
true.
like who's authorized to buy and to
Right.
sell, and not
got
saying you
the-
can't get it, but like
It got the Sudafed treatment.
Yes.
Where it's like you just can't buy too much of that.
exactly, you
which
have
is
to be
dumb.
in an industry that uses it to get your
Right.
hands on it.
Bitch,
you
I
know,
have allergies. Give me the fucking
you can
cough
just
medicine.
get allergy meds.
I have them.
Oh, you're not taking them though, are you?
No, can you
Yeah.
hear how congested I am?
Okay, this sounds more like a you problem, Rachel.
Listen. So yeah, the Russell Street bombing. This took place on March 27th of 1986
Okay.
in Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne. This explosion unfortunately led to the death of Australian policewoman Angela Rose Taylor. She was the first Australian police woman to ever be killed like in the line of duty.
Wow.
So this was like a huge deal.
Well, there's part of me that's like, so how many police women did they actually have?
Well, right.
At that time, I mean,
Right.
which frankly would make the statistic even greater because there's not
would.
that many. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
yeah,
And she probably had no idea what was going on, which is really sad.
yeah.
So the location of the bombing was at the Russell Street Police Headquarters.
Okay.
So he was obviously clearly trying to target
Yeah.
policemen.
yeah.
And it's, I mean, it's very sad that she passed away, but it's crazy that she was the only casualty.
Right.
Because,
Right.
like, there be mad cops on that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. They're literally right there.
Right. So this explosion, so your explosion was in a printer. Mine was
A
in
quote
this
unquote printer.
printer. This is the ugly ass car.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's
Very
called-
80s.
Very 80s. Very 80s car. It's just like shit brown.
Yeah.
So ugly.
It is. It really is that poopy brown.
So I don't know cars, so I'll explain it to you guys. It's a 1979 Holden Commodore. So it's like a real boxy 80s car.
Okay.
Just sort of like a normal car.
Yeah.
The explosion at the police station caused a huge amount of damage, not only to the police station, but to surrounding buildings. Estimated, okay, let's see. Let's do this conversion. So at the time, it said the damage was around like $1 million. And now with inflation, it's like 5.36
Yeah. That sounds about
million
right.
Australian dollars.
That sounds about right.
Which is deeply, deeply insane.
Yes, that's crazy.
The reason that it was so, one of the reasons that it was so damaging, like that it was able to cause so much damage, was because I thought this was really interesting. The impact of the blast was exacerbated by the open floor plan of the building. It said, quote, had acted like a claymore mine.
Okay.
So because it was so open, it was able to
There's just
fully-
nothing blocking like
stopping it.
shrapnel and shit from just going everywhere.
Right, and there was a ton of shrapnel in the air.
Okay.
So that's
okay,
what caused a lot
wow.
of the surrounding damage.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what happened, unfortunately, to police constable Angela Rose Taylor. She was only 21 years old. Like, you figure she probably just started.
Right.
She
right.
was hit by the shrapnel and later died, I believe, at the hospital.
Okay. Okay.
And then in the whole thing, she was the only one who was like seriously injured, but there were 22 other people who also suffered injuries.
Gotcha.
So this was like a big ass blast.
Yes.
So now on to the investigation.
Okay.
So they're like, who did this?
So they drop it off and it goes off.
Yeah.
The bomb goes off.
Yep.
Okay.
They didn't know who had dropped off the car. They didn't have any information. It was just like in the parking garage.
Okay.
So they were, like,
and
in
remind me, the parking garage was under the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With you now.
Right. So they're trying to figure out. So just like before, they're trying to be like, okay, let's see who's buying bomb materials.
Right.
So there was this nearby mine, Tyrconnell mine.
Okay.
And
dynamite, I would assume, for the mining things.
right. They stole detonators and explosive materials from this mine. Like they had reported like there was all this stuff stolen. And when they looked into it, they were like, yeah, that's enough to have done this.
Yeah.
And then earlier, like the year before, the car had been reported stolen. And they were like, obviously, that's the car. So they were able to find, like, in the wreckage that was the car. So they were like, okay, this has been planned out for, like, at least 2 years.
Okay.
Because that's when everything was stolen, was 2 years previous. They were like, shit.
Right. That's some long game shit right there.
Right. Not like, let's just blow up the police station today. So they weren't sure at first whether or not the police station was the main target because in that same area, actually, I think like right across the street or like catty corner was the Melbourne Magistrates Court.
Okay.
And there had been bombings and murders committed at that establishment before.
Damn.
Because it's like where everybody gets sentenced and everything like that. You know, tensions are high. They were like, oh, this is just another attack on the magistrate.
Okay.
So they're trying to rule out links to that. So they're trying to figure out, like, is this for the police station? Is this for the magistrate? A week after the bombing, the police station, obviously a not blown up one, got an anonymous caller stating that they had footage like of the guys before the explosion. And they were like, that's so great. We would love to hear that information. And he was like, yeah, I want $500,000 in American money to be placed in a Swiss bank account. And they were like,
no. We don't pay for stories.
Yeah, they were like, no, thank you. You can actually like come down to the station.
That's crazy.
Hop on your kangaroo and come down here.
Get in the pocket.
Right. Like, no.
Oh my God.
But this caller, so they were like, no. But the caller continued to contact them during the investigation 5 separate times.
Okay.
He would call in and be like, I have all this information. Give me money. They traced the calls. They were like, who is this clown? It was just in a bunch of phone boxes, like public phone boxes, which is a very vintage thing to say. It is. But they were obviously like, okay.
Were all the phone boxes in like the same area?
Yeah, in the area of a town called St. Kilda, which was nearby.
So the call is coming from inside the room. Like, okay, we kind of know where he's at.
Exactly. Yeah. They were like, okay, let's try to get him to call again. I don't know why it took 5 calls for them to be like, maybe this guy
we should trace it
somehow. So the commissioner was like, okay. He went on TV and was like, yeah, we will definitely, I like this in parentheses, it offered the caller's amount as a reward for information, but they did not say that they would give it in US dollars or put it in a Swiss bank account. They were like, yeah, we'll give you $500,000 if you come forward. This guy who's been calling, for sure. Why don't you come forward?
Okay.
So because of the broadcast and due to the information they received, they identified the caller as a 38-year-old chemist named Vladimir Reichta.
Okay.
Because they found him in the phone box making the call.
Okay.
He was like,
well, at that point, you're just...
give me that fucking money. And they were like, knock, knock, knock.
Right. At that point, you just stake out all the... I mean, I can't... Depending on how big the town is, like how many phone boxes do they have? You know what I mean? You just put an officer on each box.
Right.
And
exactly.
Wait. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what they did. They were like, nope, I don't think so. So he ended up getting charged with hindering a police investigation.
Okay.
And he was convicted and sentenced to 2 months imprisonment.
Okay.
But they were like, he's just a crazy guy.
He's just a guy who wanted money.
At that point. So then they were like, okay, let's move on to the next lead.
Yeah.
Luckily, there was a lady, a female witness, and she was like, I saw somebody parking this car
Okay.
So that's good. So they were like, okay, let's, they had like a police sketch artist because she saw the driver.
Okay.
It matched the description of career criminal Claudio Cruppi. Very Italian.
Okay.
He was a big, like, mob guy, kind of an armed robber, would go to jail all the time. He hated cops. Of
course.
And had a grudge, like a very well-known grudge against a particular officer who worked in that office.
Okay.
That had just blown up.
Oh, geez.
And he was on bail at this time. So they were like,
my God.
Okay.
They probably took him and booked him through that station and then released him on bail.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Right. And right after the bombing, he was like, I'm not going to be in Melbourne right now. Bye. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Oops.
Which is to Sydney.
Oops.
So the police were like, let's go to his house. And he wasn't there because he had, fled the scene.
Right.
And they found a homemade device on his kitchen table.
Oh.
Like a little homemade bomb.
Oh, boy.
They were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So they tracked him to Sydney where he was arrested and brought back for questioning. And under the questioning, this is super funny because guess what? Is he involved? No. But he had been making a bomb to blow up.
So it was just a coincidence that he was also planning the same thing and somebody beat him to it.
Isn't that funny?
Wow.
He's like, no, I was gonna, but I can't because they already blowed it up.
I wonder if like once he got out on bail and was working on his bomb and then heard the news that it had gotten blown up, if he was like, fuck, this does not actually look that good for me.
Right, let me dip.
Let me just leave. Yeah.
Yup, exactly. I thought that was so funny. Because like he seems perfect for it because he's this career criminal.
Yeah.
They already know him. Like I love the idea that they did the sketch and they're like, it's that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's that he was
like,
just in jail.
Come on.
Right.
We know this guy.
This guy, like what a dick.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's a fair line of suspect to follow.
Absolutely.
Like I get why they went that direction.
And the first one too, like these kinds of cases are so frustrating because it's like this guy's the perfect guy and he didn't do it.
Right.
And this guy's the perfect guy and he didn't fucking do it either. So finally so this seemed to be separate at first. There was this incident that happened that seemed like different stuff. So Victoria Police was trying to find a different car that had been stolen. They were tracking a red Daimler Sovereign.
Okay.
I don't know. A car. So they found it. They get into a cheeky little police chase. The Daimler turned onto a side street.
It's
and
probably
crashed.
Daimler. Like Daimler Chrysler?
Oh,
isn't that a thing?
maybe. It's Daimler. So I
Daimler?
thought Daimler?
Maybe.
Daimler?
I don't know. We don't
saying?
know cars.
I don't know.
Daimler.
I'm pathetic. I really am. Like, I could not identify like a
Wasn't
single...
that a thing? Daimler Chrysler? Am I making it up?
I literally would be the last to know.
Nope, I'm not. Daimler Chrysler, the name of a German-American auto. Daimler Chrysler was like Chrysler.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
Anyway.
Bad taste car.
I don't know anything about cars, and I'm like, this is one of those things that I probably heard in passing that just like stuck in my brain.
And I've never heard of that in my life.
Anyway, keep going. Keep going.
So they're like, this car has been stolen. Yeah. We're gonna drive after this guy. The guy crashes the car. And they get into like a whole thing. He holds another motorist at gunpoint and makes his escape, but the car is still there. So they're like, okay, well, we can get the car. Let's look inside the car. And they open the boot of the car, in which they found a set of license plates that had been cut into pieces.
Oh.
They were like, that's a little suspicious.
That's not suspicious at all. What are you talking about? I like my license plates in pieces. It's the only way I'll take them. Just in pieces.
You like Lego so much.
I want DIY. I want to put them together.
You love assembling things. I can't relate. I do that for 5 minutes and I'm like, get me out of here. I have no patience.
Yeah.
When they were put together, they came back, the license plate numbers came back to another, a silver 1985 VK Commodore.
Okay.
That had also been stolen before the bombing. This matched the description of a vehicle being used in an armed bank robbery. the day of the bombing.
Okay.
So the vehicle was used, they like slammed it like into.
I love how they just keep accidentally solving crimes.
Completely. It's like, oh my God,
Like,
you guys are doing so
God
good.
damn it, we solved another one. Why does this keep happening?
Solve the one that we're working on? I want to go home. Like, honestly, this is
so
funny, but like the crime that this car was used to commit is what I pictured when you were like, oh, we're going to do explosives. I immediately pictured like the Old West where like they're slamming like a car with like a bomb on it into like the front of a bank and blowing the window out so they can all jump in and be like, give me the money. It was immediately what came to mind. It was like some Jesse James shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, full circle.
That's so funny.
But like the day of the bombing, it was, they were like, this is the car.
Yeah.
The license plates for this car are in this other stolen car.
Okay.
That's suspicious that these two bomby crimes are happening at the same time.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
So they were like, let's find the silver Commodore. And they found it at the bottom of a river.
Okay. Wow.
Which is also suspicious.
Car needed a bath.
Right. So yeah, nice
leave it
evidence
in,
back.
yeah.
But it couldn't, which was probably the point. They were
Right,
like, let's wash
right.
off all these fingerprints and all this, bank dust.
Yeah.
But they couldn't wash off everything because the VIN number on the chassis had been drilled off.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And they somehow knew, like they were able to trace, and they were like, this means that this is the exact car that was in fact used in the bombing.
Right.
And these license plates we have are in fact, they were like, it's all coming together.
This is clearly intentional that somebody took this VIN number off. Yeah.
Right. So they were able to kind of link it. They were like, all right. So they're trying to figure out. So obviously the guy who was driving the red car that was stolen held up a passing motorist and made his escape. So they were like, let's figure out who this guy is. Good idea.
Okay.
One of the traffic officers was able to like give a sketch and identify the driver as Peter Reed.
Okay.
Peter Reed, born Peter Komaziak, was a suspected armed robber and car thief.
Oh God. Okay.
Sounds like a straight up guy.
All right.
So right away they're like, we're putting all of his like family and associates and everyone on surveillance so that we can find him.
Yeah.
So they did that. They had them on surveillance, and then on the 25th of April, 1986, they raided the home because he was staying with a friend, Carl Zelinka.
Okay.
So they decided to raid his home. As they were raiding his home, which of course they did by like announcing
Reed's home or the place where he was staying?
the place where he was staying.
Okay,
Which was essentially his home.
Right.
They were kind of living together.
Sure.
But I think not in like a cute way.
Yeah.
When they forced entry, they obviously yelled like police. But Reed was like, actually, I'm going to shoot you. So he pulled out his Smith & Wesson and fired at police. He injured an officer super seriously, and then another officer shot him and kind of ended the whole thing.
Yeah.
Not killing him though.
Yeah. Just
So-
ended the standoff.
Right.
Okay.
But it was like a crazy little, I'm sure they just thought they were going to go in there because it was like early.
You never know what to expect though, especially when you're dealing with people who are like career criminals.
Right, who are going to blow up a building.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
come on, dude.
Wow.
So they search his home. They find several guns where the VIN numbers have been drilled off, or the serial numbers, not the VIN numbers. And they're looking and they're like, this looks like the other thing that happened.
Sure.
They also recovered several more license plates from other stolen vehicles.
Awesome.
A police scanner, handy to have, and 2 detonators.
Okay, here we go. But is this a real bomb or a fake bomb?
Right.
Was this the bomb? The bomb? Or is this a different bomb?
This one's real. It was just the detonators, not the full bomb.
Still.
But they also found a backpack with sticks of a dynamite-like material called gelignite.
Okay.
Which is, similar.
Yeah.
So they were able to take both men into questioning because obviously all this shit is mad suspicious.
Sure.
Zelinka, who was Peter Reed's friend, admitted that he was like, okay, we do all kind of know each other.
Yeah.
We know each other. And there was this other guy too that they were trying to get, Craig Minogue, like Kylie Minogue, probably related because they're all Australian. So they were all kind of like ratting each other out. So it seems like Zelinka was not as heavily involved as you might assume with this guy sort of like living in his house.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the information that he was giving was like, well, I saw them driving this like shit brown Commodore and I saw them kind of talking about bombs together. And then after the explosion, this other guy, Minogue, was like giving him stuff like, here, take this like bag of stuff and just put it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Like, just don't look at it.
So but also very much like not implicating himself
Correct.
at all.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And this was which guy was saying this?
This was the guy that he was staying with, which was Zelinka.
Okay.
Zelinka also told detectives that while like all of these like criminals were staying at his house, they were being, I loved this little detail. They were being, because they were like, okay, who all is involved? Tell me all of the visitors that they had. And he was like, oh, I'll tell you all about Stan the Man. Stan the Man. They were like, hello. He was like, yeah, this guy was coming and like helping them and talking about like, this is how we're going to do this crime. But I only knew him as Stan the Man. And one of the officers there was like, oh no.
We know that guy.
We know Stan the fucking man.
God.
His description matched known armed robber Stanley Bryant.
Oh my God.
Who had an extensive criminal record. His first offense was at the age of 8 years old.
Wow. What a great nickname, though.
I know, Stan the Man.
Stan the Man.
Love it. Like, how bad can you
I feel like
really
if I ever know any Stans or Stanleys, I would
it's a classic nickname.
instantly call them Stan the Man.
So good.
Yeah.
So he's kind of an interesting character, as you can already tell.
Sure.
He had kind of had this like life of crime in and out of like, even as a child, in and out of boys' homes, in and out of Borstal, in and out of jail. While in jail, he actually seemed to sort of turn his life around. You know that some jails will like put on like plays and musicals, which I think is so fun.
Sure.
He was in several of those productions, and when he got out, he pursued acting.
Nice.
Big enough that he was in an episode of the show Prisoner in 1979.
Oh, funny.
Because he was like a bit actor. So he was in a bunch of like TV shows.
Yeah. Oh, how funny.
Right. But
I mean, listen, even criminals need hobbies.
yeah, you know, he just needs to express himself.
Yeah.
He just has an explosive
That's all
personality.
it is. Yeah.
So they were able to, obviously, they probably looked at his SAG card or whatever and was like, oh, that's where you live. We're going to go and get you.
Yeah.
So they went and got him. And he kind of immediately was like, oh, yeah, no, we did that shit.
Yeah. Wow. I'm kind of surprised that he gave it up so quick.
Oh, he sang like immediately.
Yeah.
Is what it said. It was like, no. I'm
That's
just going to tell
surprising.
you. Yup.
Huh.
So through his information and all of them talking, they were able to discover like things that kind of helped them with the crime, such as a large high-speed engraving machine. That's how they were drilling off all of these numbers.
Yeah.
They were able to find that at Stan the Man's residence.
Okay.
So as they're kind of talking to them, they figure out that not only does Stan the Man have this cool nickname, but they're all in a really, really cool armed robbery crew together. You are not ready for the name of this crew.
Stan the Man and the Band?
See, I love that. I would have like Animal and the Boys Crew.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get
You're
out.
12.
I don't like that.
That's so lame.
Animal and the boys crew? Not even men. Boys
Right, the
crew.
Boys. Oh, the boys. The boys.
Yeah.
And once like that came out, the police were like, oh, that's who's been committing all of these like armed robberies and shit. God damn it. It's these assholes all together.
Oh my God.
So it's like, as it came together, it was like, oh, they've been committing all of these crimes.
They solved the one crime they're setting out and then
it
still
totally turned into all
accidentally
this-
solve more crimes.
Right. Crazy.
They're just fumbling their way into solving all.
Yes.
So funny.
So let's go to the trial. Prosecutors didn't really see. I feel like a lot of times in these cases, it comes down to like specifics, like who drove the car, who built the bomb.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, no, all of these guys just kind of did it together. Australian law seems very like whatever. You're just gonna go to jail.
Yes and no in some ways. It's hard if you have a harder time of differentiating who did what because there was so much crossover. There's no point in having the separate charges.
Very true.
Because you can likely, especially if they felt like they could prove.
Thing.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's certain laws like that in America too, where like I think like especially in California, where it's like if you drive someone to a house and they go in and commit a murder, you're also charged with murder.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it seems kind of like that. Like, nope, you were all there, so you're all kind of getting stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were like, nope, this was just kind of a team effort, essentially.
Sure.
They had a 6-month trial in the Supreme Court of Victoria.
They were all tried together?
Yes.
Okay.
Craig Minogue was convicted of mainly murder and then other offenses for the one police officer who had died, and then other offenses. Peter Reed and Craig Minogue had a brother, Rodney Minogue, who was also kind of in on it, but wasn't as interesting. Mm-hmm. They were acquitted of any like bombing related offenses, but because they were career criminals, they were convicted with a bunch of other shit.
Right.
Both relating to the arrest and the shooting and stuff like that, and like the driving away in the cars.
Yeah.
So Reed was sentenced to 12 years. Taylor was sentenced to life imprisonment, and he was the first person ever in Victoria to be, they have like a life imprisonment with no minimum term.
Sure.
Craig Minogue was sentenced to life imprisonment, minimum 28 years. And he actually became eligible for parole in like 2016, but they were like, no, you're actually going to stay there.
Yeah, yeah.
And both Minogue and Reed have within recent years, because like with DNA and everything, a lot of sexual assault charges are coming up. They have both been charged with sexual assault charges that occurred before the bombing.
Yeah, they're probably like, well, good thing we're just leaving them in prison.
Right. Right.
We know where these guys are. Yeah.
Yes. The police headquarters had moved to like another area. The old, like, bombed out building.
Yeah.
They never rebuilt it into another police headquarters, which I thought was unusual.
Interesting.
They ended up converting it into apartments.
Okay.
But on the apartments, there is a big, nice memorial plaque to Officer Angela Rose Taylor, who lost her life in the bombing.
Yeah.
All of the offenders are still in jail, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
And I think they should stay there. Don't blow people up.
That is wild, just how many crimes they accidentally solved in pursuit of this one bombing.
Part of this case, where it's like, it's just the one, but it's like, oh, it turns out it's this whole thing.
Do you think that that the bombing was just as a way to get back at the police, or was it a distraction tactic for one of the robberies?
That's interesting.
Because didn't you say there was a robbery that happened at the same time?
That they committed at the same time. And that was the car that was in the river.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Because I'm wondering if they like set that off, because then you don't have people responding to like.
Oh, I think so.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. It could have been a little of both,
well,
right?
It's kind of difficult because none of these assholes wanted to be like, I did it because of this. They were all like, shut up.
Sure.
Nobody say shit.
Except for the one guy who was like, and it was him and him and him and him. Oh, yeah, it's true. My moment in the spotlight. I've been waiting for this. Yeah.
What a cast of characters.
Oh, how funny.
Isn't that great?
That's crazy.
Well, not great.
That was a really interesting story, though.
It is
very
interesting.
Before you decide to build a bomb, first of all, don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
No homemade bombs, no pipe bombs, no bomb threats. Let's not do that.
This bomb pussy.
Okay. Instead, why don't you check out this podcast?
My name is Hunter.
And I'm Haley, and we're your hosts of
Murder and Such, a podcast about true crime, serial killers, and other dark subject matter. Join us while we fill your ear holes with some crappy comedy and disgusting tales.
You can now find us on Spotify,
iTunes,
Stitcher,
Podbean,
and all of your podcatcher services. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, and follow us on Twitter
at Murder and Such.
Hope to hear from you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that has been our show this week. Do you have any final thoughts before we finish up?
Don't blow stuff up.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Basically.
I
it's
feel
really
like
not that
if
hard.
I were ever to even attempt, I would blow myself up and I would die. Like, it just seems so, like, scary.
Yeah, I'm not that careful
No.
enough as the story of me. We talked earlier about me dumping my coffee over and burning my finger and doing all of these things within a span of like 10 minutes.
Covered in bruises.
Terrible. You've probably heard how many times I have like hit the table and the mic and whatever in just this episode. Like
clumsy.
Like, what the fuck is even going on with me today? I could definitely not build a bomb. That's for sure.
Yeah, no. I would be building it and I would like toot. and then everything would go up.
Just enough vibration.
Yes. It would
set off the mechanism.
Rumbling out of my butt.
Well, on that note, our sound and editing is by Tiff Fullman. Our music is by Jason Zakshevsky, the Enigma. Woo! This has been the Bad Taste Crime Podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Young women and left their bodies on the hillsides along the highway.
It was as if a wave of evil washed over this town.
We are all evil in some form or another.